So there's a 14-year-old child in North Carolina in need of a kidney transplant, and her family thought it was all set, ready to go from Duke University Children's Hospital. But then they were hit with no vax, no surgery. Watch this clip. I'll be right back.
A horrific story out of North Carolina. A 14-year-old girl, get this one, was denied a kidney transplant because she didn't get the COVID vaccine. Duke Children's Hospital and Health Center originally told Chrissy and Lee Hicks that their daughter, Yulia, doesn't have to be vaccinated to have the procedure done. But they recommended that she get the vaccine. Watch.
I can't require you to do anything.
Sure.
I can recommend these things, but if you don't follow our recommendations, then Yulia can't be a transplant candidate here. Based on our criteria number 5, which is persistent non-adherence with medication, dialysis treatment, or medical recommendations. And also based on number 10, which would be medical risk factors that make transplant surgery unsafe. And being unvaccinated to the CDC recommended vaccinations based on her age is part of that.
This is supposed to be the United States of America where everyone is treated equally. There's a child out there in North Carolina again in need of a kidney transplant that could possibly save her life. But Duke University first told the family the jab was not required, but it was recommended. So they thought, great, she's going to get the care she needs. She's going to get the transplant. But then they changed their tune and say the recommendation is basically a requirement. So without the jab, there is no life-saving surgery. Again, this is the United States of America, right? They are denying a life-saving operation to a young child because she didn't get the jab, because the parents didn't believe in it. We all know the jabs were not a be-all, end-all of the virus. All the information is out there. You get it, you could still get the virus. You don't get it, you can get the virus. This child had the virus. Her parents say for about 24 to 48 hours with very little symptoms, and then she was fine. But she is not eligible for a kidney transplant because she did not have a jab that her parents didn't believe in. That anchor from Fox talked to the parents. So watch this clip, and then I'll be back to talk about it a little more.
Chrissy and Lee Hicks join us now. Chrissy and Lee, thanks so much for being here. You have 8 biological kids and 3 adopted children. You adopted Yulia a number of years ago, treating her as your own, so you want the best care for her. Is it really just that she, as a 14-year-old, is not vaccinated for COVID, that she can't get this transplant?
Yes, absolutely. We said at the end of that call that isn't recorded, I said, so basically you're telling us if she does not get the vaccine, then she's not getting a transplant. And Dr. Chambers said yes. That is the one thing that is holding us up. So
Lee, you've been in a 2-year-long process. Did you believe at the beginning that if she didn't get the COVID vaccine, she couldn't be treated? I mean, or was this a blindside at the end?
No, so we've been up front the entire time we've been seeing at Duke for the last 2 years that we were not comfortable with the vaccine, with the COVID-19 vaccine, and so they knew all along that we were not comfortable with this. And then it wasn't a requirement; it was not a recommendation according to Dr. Chambers at first, until the very end. Our last we did an 8-hour workup. In early, or I guess late October, and that's when they decided or told us that this was going to be a highly recommended / recommendation or requirement for her to get a vaccine before she would get the transplant. So and then the phone call you heard there that was 29 November. That's when she said it's not a requirement, it's a recommendation, but we can't get she cannot do the kidney transplant without the vaccine.
It's not a wordsmithing there saying basically if she doesn't get the shot, you're not. So she's got a genetic condition that's destroying her kidney. She needs this eventually to save her life.
So now, whatever care this child is getting is going to have to be sufficient until or if they could find a medical center that will perform the surgery for this child without her having the jab. But here's what angers me the most about this. This story really, really rubbed me the wrong way, because it all boils down, of course, to politics. This administration sitting in D.C., well, right now he's in St. Croix vacationing again, but that's a story for another day. They are so eager and so willing to pay for gender-affirming surgeries and gender treatment and hormone therapy for children younger than this child who's 14 years old. I have to wonder if this little girl decided, you know what, I'm a boy, but I need this surgery, what would happen? It's my guess that the surgery would be performed, because this is what they advocate. We all saw Rachel Levine, again, the resurfaced video, advocating for clinicians to get their voices out there, to get this care. It's needed and it could be life-saving. No, gender-affirming care is not life-saving. A kidney transplant for a 14-year-old girl is life-saving. But they will not do it because the almighty jab was not put in that child's arm. So basically, her parents are being punished. How dare you not take that child for the jab? If you did, we wouldn't be going through all this. But since you didn't, we're just going to have to roll with it and see how she does without the surgery. This is the most disgusting display of medicine, if you will, that I've seen lately. A renowned children's hospital is refusing to care for a patient because she didn't get a jab. How is that even relevant to the surgery she needs? That has absolutely nothing to do with it, in my opinion. We all know it doesn't work, or it could work, or it might work. We all know people have gotten sick after they received them. And I'm not saying something I shouldn't. All the information is out there. So the parents had a belief that they weren't sure about this. So now they're being punished, and their child has to pay the price because of some bureaucratic bullshit. Again, I thought this was the United States of America, where healthcare was a priority for anyone. If you were homeless, if you were broke, if you had $0 to your name, you could walk into a hospital and get care and not have to worry about it. It doesn't, not what they say. Everybody deserves health care. But apparently, you only deserve it, especially for a life-saving surgery, if you got the almighty jab. This hospital needs, something has to be done. I don't know what. I do understand that these parents have retained an attorney because, again, it wasn't required, it was recommended. But then after all was said and done, well, the recommendation is really a requirement. So without it, we won't be able to perform the surgery. So the child sits in limbo, hoping she doesn't die because a Duke University Medical Center, Children's Hospital, whatever they call it, refuses to help her to possibly save her life because she didn't have a needle stuck in her arm a year ago or 2 years ago when they were pushing this thing because the parents didn't believe in it. And the parents are still here, and all their other children are still here, and so is this little girl. So the jab wouldn't have made a difference. She has some kind of genetic disease which is destroying her kidneys, and she needs one. And they won't do it because of the jab. That's disgusting. It's actually inhumane. And I can't believe that this is the country we live in, that they will push surgery on children for their own agenda. She's a girl, she wants to be a boy. She's a boy, she wants to be a girl. The government will pay for it and push it and advertise it. That's not life-saving. This situation is life-saving. And this little girl hopefully will find a hospital to take care of her and make her well so she lives a long and healthy life. And that's it. And that's my opinion. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't liked this video already, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Please share this video with as many people as you can, because this story needs to be spread more and more and more to show the hypocrisy that we're facing with medical care today. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hope everybody's healthy and safe, and I'll see you real soon with something else. Have a great night.